Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, March 14th, 2023. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock p.m. Carrie, may we please have a roll call?
Andy Duran.
Present.
Ann Hill.
Present.
Mark Berry.
Present.
Carrie Steinbach, present. Tim Penich.
Present.
Amy Connell Donahue.
Present.
And Lauren Hirsch. Present.
Okay, we're all present, so we can begin. Are there any students that want to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tegan. All right, now moving on to reading of the mission, vision, and values for Lake Bluff School District 65.
To provide each student with quality instruction, learning opportunities, and educational environments that inspire academic achievement, personal growth, and responsible citizenship. Our vision statement is excellence in education, enthusiasm for life, every student, every day.
Thank you. And now we'll move on to the public comment period. At every Board of Education meeting, we offer the opportunity for members of the public to address the board. So if anybody in the audience tonight would like to address the board, this is an opportunity to do so. Not seeing anybody? And Amy?
No.
Okay, great. There will be another opportunity at the end of the meeting if you so choose. So item 6 is addition of a discussion item. At each Board of Ed meeting, we offer the opportunity for board members to suggest a discussion item for future agendas. Does anybody have anything to add tonight? No, previously discussed items some have already been added, others will be added to future meetings. So, of course, if you have anything in between meetings, certainly let Dr. Leali know. All right, now we'll move on to our report section. This is going to be very brief tonight. I don't believe we have a PTO report, an Alliance report, or a principal's report for the elementary school, so I will jump right to the middle school report with Mr. Black and students.
All right, good evening. We're excited to be here. Thank you very much for allowing me to bring some students to celebrate a recent event that occurred at Lake Bluff Middle School. Wanted to talk a little bit about the LBMS Career Exposition. That was something that we did on February 9th. And I'm going to be turning things over to Mrs. Comack in just a minute. She's going to talk a little bit about the development of this program and the work that she puts in behind the scenes to make it all happen. But I'll also introduce, if we can go on to the next slide, I'll introduce our student presenters who will be speaking just before we show you some of the pictures from the event. Pleased to have Lana Hernandez and Tegan Murphy, both 8th graders here. Stephen Barnt representing our 7th grade, and Brady Goberville representing 6th grade. So we appreciate them being here tonight. Met with them yesterday. They've got some great things to share from the day. So I'm going to turn things over to Mrs. Comack, though, before they go. Thank you very much.
So Career Day started in 2017, and it was because we looked at our winter conference this half day, and we said we have this half day with students, and on that day, they're often looking forward. We asked them at winter conferences what's going to be happening as you look forward to the end of the year, as you look forward to your next school year, and we thought, if you're looking forward, what is there to look forward to beyond just next Monday? And we thought, well, what about future careers? How could we use this half day to make this a meaningful experience for students, something they could look forward to each year and partner with our community and bring people in? And so that's what we did. We worked at getting our parents, community members, a lot of the friends and family of our staff to come in and speak about what they do, how what they learned in school relates to what they do, and just their stories and their journeys through school. It has expanded over the last 6 years. This was our biggest year yet. We had 22 presenters, and Mr. Blackmer will show you a little more about that. And some of them are alums, some of them are my students who've come back to haunt me. And they have great stories to tell, and they're very truthful with our students. They'll talk about their struggles at middle school, and they will talk about how certain principals were there for them when they needed them and didn't think that it was going to be that big a deal. And so it's been a really good thing for our students. They look forward to it. It does take a lot of work behind the scenes and a very big spreadsheet, but it's worth it. So I'll let Mr. Blackmer show you a little bit more about it.
Oh, this is school.
So as we mentioned already, there are 22 presenters. If you don't mind just clicking on that link for a minute. We're not going to be able to show you pictures of all of them, but I did want to give you just an example of what it was that the students had the opportunity to take a look at. They saw the presenters' names, they saw their career field, they got a bit of a description. Students would go through this list and then submit to us their requests for presentations that they would like to see. There are 3 presentations offered during the entire session, and so you know, there's a wide variety of things, right? Everything from professional golfer or golf pro to produce distributor to police and fire. We had a Department of Homeland Security agent there. We had just a real wide selection for the students to choose from, and it was really pretty awesome. So if we can go back now, that just gives it a flavor for it. I'm not going to read through it all. Pardon me, 4 different sessions. I said 3, didn't I? They were 25 minutes each. And right, we've got a wide variety. Some students welcoming their parents into the building, which is super cool. Relatives of staff, friends, former students, as we already mentioned, coming back to present. And I think it's as much a joy for the staff as it is for our kids. Pretty fulfilling to see those former students come back and actually want to give back to the school that they graduated from. So rather than hear me talk about it, I'm going to turn things over to our students, and you can hear a little bit about what they enjoyed most, and more specifically and more importantly, something they learned from the day.
My favorite session was the dermatology session, mainly because it was interactive. We got to stitch up a pig's foot and watch pimple popping videos. It was pretty gross, but, you know, cool. One part about Career Day that I really like is that it's interactive. It gets students learning while actually doing something. And also it reveals a variety of jobs in the community. So I think that's pretty interesting.
I'm Tegan Murphy, and one thing that I was happy that I got to have the opportunity to have Career Day. There was this one guy who was a drug scientist, and the teachers let us know that people that were coming in weren't trained like teachers, of course, and wouldn't always know how to speak, which was the case with this guy. But he was very, very nice, and if you listened closely, you could tell what he was saying. He was talking about how, you know, he was using certain drugs to help the community, and we all know that some jobs some people aren't meant for. And there was this really nice guy. He was a funeral director, and I actually remember him when I was in 7th grade, and he had to take fluids out, and it just makes me have a great amount of respect for people.
My name is Stephen Burt, and my favorite part about Career Day was about gaining knowledge, and one of my favorites was technology. The first thing I learned was like how to make a website, how it went, and you know, it was totally fun, and I had design. I learned a ton of things, and I love architecture, you know. And I thought, like, you know what, this prepares me for my future, and I think every other kid should be doing it. So, yeah, that's mine.
Public speaking is definitely not my favorite, and I am really proud of all of our students who are able to come up here and talk to you a little bit about our Career Day. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have, but thank you for the time.
Thank you, Mrs. Comack, for organizing all this. And any questions for Mrs. Comack?
I have a question for the kids. How did you decide where or who you were going to see speaking, or was it directed to you?
Miss Comack made this form where we got to click our first choice, our second choice, and our third choice on who we wanted to see. And while it wasn't guaranteed that we were going to see them, it would still put our input into it. So it would just, you know, our opinion, you know, yeah.
Any other questions?
Just thanks to Mrs. Comack for representing all the math nerds today with the Appreciate that.
We talked about that this morning, too. It is Pi Day, you know this, right? Okay. I do want to also publicly acknowledge all the work that Mrs. Comack put into this. This is a huge undertaking to make sure, it's essentially a scheduling activity in addition to recruiting all of these folks and scheduling both the presenters and the kids into the slots that they'd like to go see. It's a massive undertaking, and so this is as much an opportunity to share and celebrate our students, but thank Mrs. Comack for all of her hard work. Thank you for allowing us to be here tonight.
Thank you.
Nice job. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And you all are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you'd like, but it's also okay if you'd like to leave. So feel free to do that. This will be a quick meeting, but if you want to duck out, you're welcome to do that too. We will move on. I think our next report is mine, and it's just one item. I just want to say thank you to everybody participating in the strategic planning sessions going on. I know it's a huge time commitment. And to encourage you, if you're not on the strategic planning design team, there's still opportunities to join for a town hall-like sessions to hear what's going on. And thank you to our administration for planning that as well. That's it for me, so I'll turn it over to Dr. Leali.
Yeah, and not too much for me tonight either. I sent home some reminders yesterday about some opportunities for our parents to give us input. I want to congratulate the community because you came out for 5 essentials data. We have made our 20%. In fact, we've gone over. Elementary schools at 37% as of today, and the middle schools at 31%, which is unprecedented. Thank you so much to the parents who took time to fill it out. We really do use the data. It's been instrumental in the strategic planning process also, so I'm looking forward to seeing that from our parents, and obviously we have it from our students and staff as well. So thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to keep it with you for our first action item, which is, I'm sorry, nope, for our only discussion item on strategic plan update.
Yeah, so just really briefly, we, as you know, had our first part of the 3-part strategic planning process, so our first orientation meeting, and then our first retreat, which was focused on data. And the data that was presented had to do with finance and technology. So thank you to Jay and Margaret for presenting that information. Tracy presented information on our climate and culture data, and then I was able to present on student achievement and growth. So all of those data were presented to the strategic design team, and we created the SWOT analysis that's been sent out to the community. And as you know, we had your special board meeting as well, so that you were able to take a look at that and give feedback. Overall, the process has been very enjoyable so far. The highlight for sure is our students. There's no question about it. They have been doing an outstanding job in representing our student body, as these guys did tonight, just so well. We have incredible kids. Many times in the process, people have suggested that the adults could just leave and the kids would be fine doing it on their own. We also will have at our second retreat coming up on the 21st of March, Dr. Montgomery and Jeff McHugh, his assistant superintendent, will be joining us for the middle part of the session to participate a little bit and inform us of what's going on in the high school and give a little bit of input on our process as well, which I'm happy to say that, again, we're trying to make sure that partnership is strong and we're all kind of going in the same direction towards that North Star Portrait of a Learner that we developed last year. So I do encourage everyone to fill out the surveys. We're looking for lots of input, stakeholder input. Make sure that you can, community members, all the people who are watching, as Mark likes to say, the thousands of people, attend the town halls. I will be also attending our next Bilingual Parent Advisory Committee to present the information on the strategic plan and get their feedback as well. So really, really trying to make sure this is a well-rounded and really robust plan that reflects as many members of our community as possible.
I just have one comment question. I appreciate the process you set up and how transparent it is, and I'm wondering if you could just tell the thousands who are watching at home kind of how they could access all the documents and everything as things are progressing.
Yeah, so on the webpage, I keep trying to kind of point people back to our website because we have a strategic plan webpage that's it's on the quick links on the right, so it says Strategic Plan 2023, and then when you click on that webpage, all the information is there, the schedule of meetings, the Zoom information. Our Zooms are password protected through this process. The CEC has been setting up our Zooms, and they have a process that they use passwords, so just to make sure that everybody who's in the room needs to be in the room. And then all of the presentations from the data retreat are also there, including all the data that the team saw, all the posters from the table groups, as well as the documents that reflect just typed out information on the posters. And there's also, there will be photos up soon. So we've been collecting photos from the process as well, in addition to the frequently asked questions document that's been up for some time, the survey information. So we're just kind of using that webpage as all things strategic plan. So if anyone has any questions, please point them back to that, because everything, we're trying to keep that all in one spot so people don't have to go hunting for anything.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I just want to say thank you to all the people participating, because it is no small task. It's a lot of work and a lot of hours, and they have several more sessions to go, right?
So 2 more long 7-hour retreats, and then 1 more 2-hour session. And then obviously Crystal Conley, our facilitator from CEC, has been setting up and facilitating the additional board meetings, as well as the additional town hall and community feedback sessions, which are not a part of the regular process. So like when we introduced CEC's plan, these were additional items that they've scheduled for us based on the kind of involvement that the district is interested in receiving from the community. So.
And the links to the community participation meetings are on
the webpage. Yep,
as well.
And Amy's been sending them out also in advance. With the password information, I have to thank Amy and want to thank Amy for all of her organization of these events too. Our sessions take place at the Gorton Community Center. We've been trying to make sure it's a comfortable spot with, with food and things to keep people engaged. So it's taken a team effort, but I think it's really going to yield a pretty outstanding product for us for the next few years.
Awesome. Final comments, questions? Okay, thank you for that update. So move on to our action items. We do have 4 action items today. The first one is an honorable dismissal of part-time staff. And before I get into that, would you prep that up and why we do this?
Yeah, so this is just sort of a formality that has been something that we've done in the district for some time with our part-time staff. We only have 1 person that's left on this list. We do an honorable dismissal, and then we hire this person back right after. So at our next meeting, we will hire her back. But essentially, it's just a process that we go through with our part-time employees every year.
Okay. And before I ask for a motion, I am required to read this entire resolution, so please bear with me. So this is a resolution for the dismissal of part-time teachers for reasons other than reduction in force. Whereas the following teachers are employed on a part-time basis during the 2023-2024 school year, having worked less than full work days or less than full work weeks for the current school year, and whereas the Board of Education has determined that the part-time teachers named herein shall not be reemployed for the 2023-2024 school year pursuant to Section 24-11 of the School Code for reasons other than reduction in force. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of Lake Bluff School District number 65, Lake County, Illinois, that the following named part-time teachers shall not be reemployed for the 2023-2024 school year. Ann Kohlmeyer-Dahlen. The President and Secretary of the Board are authorized and directed to give the teachers a written notice of dismissal by certified mail, return receipt requested, at least 45 days before the end of the school year. A copy of this notice is attached as Exhibit A and incorporated by reference. The superintendent or designee shall also deliver a copy of the notice to the teachers by first-class mail and personally with a signature receipt. A copy of the receipt is attached as Exhibit B and incorporated by reference. This resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its passage, adopted this 14th day of March 2023 by the following votes. So may I have a motion to approve this honorable dismissal of part-time staff?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, let's do a roll call for this, please.
Sure, Lauren Hirsch?
Yes.
Carrie Steinbach, yes. Tim Penich?
Yes.
Amy Connell Donahue?
Yes.
Andy Duran?
Yes.
Ann Hill?
Yes.
Mark Berry?
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. Thank you. Next one is approval of a retirement contract. Anything you want to?
Yep, so this is a contract between the district and Steve Miller, who has been our facilities manager for over 20 years. He's an excellent employee. He's contributed a lot to the district, and this is just a request that he has made post-retirement, and something that's allowing us to create an efficient timeline for transition and ensuring that we can hire somebody to take his place at the right time of the year and also make sure that our employees has what he needs as he finishes out his career in District 65.
So just to be clear, in case people are curious, it's to fill, not only because he's a wonderful employee, but to facilitate the timing of the turnover, because the school year and his contract ends at the end of June.
That's correct.
And new employees, all school district employees, contracts run July to June. And so if, rather than have him leave mid-year when there's fewer candidates available, we facilitate this at the end of the school year to make the transition.
That's right.
The pool of candidates more readily available and the transition smoother,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, it's a difficult, sometimes the timing is difficult with 12-month employees,
Yep.
which is the minority in our staff. So,
Thanks for that clarification. Okay, so may I have a motion to approve the retirement contract as just presented by administration?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All right,
Thank you, Steve Miller.
yeah,
A
for
lot
sure.
of good years, we appreciate it.
absolutely.
So let's do a roll call, Carrie.
Sure, Carrie Steinbach, yes. Tim Penich?
Yes.
Amy Connell Donahue?
Yes.
Andy Duran?
Yes.
Ann Hill?
Yes.
Mark Berry?
Yes.
Lauren Hirsch?
Yes.
Okay, our third approval for tonight is approval of the personnel report. There's been one minor update, or one update since, from the one that's in your packet, but you do have it in front of you. So let me read this in its entirety. We do have one non-licensed new hire, Andy Garcia, for the facilities manager at the district office, effective May 14th, 2023, replacing Matt Brugioni, who was replacing Steve Miller, at a salary rate of $105,000 per year. We have 3 resignations. The first one is Ellie Thomas, a paraprofessional at the middle school building, effective March 17th. She's transitioning to actually her student teaching at the middle school. Second one is Latoria Williams, a paraprofessional at the elementary school, effective March 24th, 2023.
Personal reasons.
For personal reasons, thank you. And the third one is Carly Quick, the longtime social worker at the middle school, effective the end of the year, June 7th, 2023, for starting her own business. We have no terminations. We have one licensed new hire. It's Heather McEnroe, paraprofessional at the elementary school, effective April 3rd, 2023, replacing Latoria Williams at an annual salary rate of $125 per day. We have one change of assignment. That's Anna Ogren. Current position is .5 Spanish at the middle school, effective August 21st, 2023. Her new position will be the addition of a .5 multilingual. The salary rate is $92,112 annual, and her schedule placement is MA Step 21. So may I have a motion to approve the personnel report for March 13th that was just presented?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion or questions? Okay, roll call, Carrie.
Tim Penich?
Yes.
Amy Connell Donahue?
Yes.
Andy Duran?
Yes.
Ann Hill?
Yes.
Mark Berry?
Yes.
Lauren Hirsch?
Yes.
Carrie Steinbach, yes.
Okay, that passes as well. Final one is the consent agenda. This month's consent agenda includes the following. Number 1, the open session meeting minutes from February 28th, 2023, regular Board of Education meeting. The closed session meeting minutes from February 28th, 2023, closed session. The treasurer's report, the impressed report, the bills report, and the P-card report. Would anyone like to have anything pulled out of the consent agenda for further discussion? Nope. Okay, I may have a motion to approve the consent agenda for March 14th as presented by administration.
So moved.
Second.
Any final questions or discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Amy Connell Donahue?
Yes.
Andy Duran?
Yes.
Ann Hill?
Yes.
Mark Berry?
Yes.
Lauren Hirsch?
Yes.
Carrie Steinbach, yes. Tim Penich?
Yes.
Okay, that passes as well. That's it for our approvals. We'll now move into FOIA requests. We had 2 FOIA requests this month. Details of each are in the board packet. This FOIA section of our agenda is simply a report item and does not require approval. However, are there any questions for the administration before we move on? I had erroneously sought approval for these at every other meeting I've facilitated, so I realized it wasn't necessary this week. So thank you for bearing with me for that as I learn. Great. So if you have questions about that, I'm sure you can direct me to Dr. Leali after the fact. Move on to public comment. This is our second public comment period. Anybody want to approach the podium? And nobody remotely, I'm guessing.
That's correct.
Okay, great. Then we will move to adjournment. So may I have a motion to adjourn the March 14th, 2023 Board of Education meeting at 7:25 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It was a quick meeting and we're adjourned.
Nice job.
Thanks, everyone.